Hello, everybody. Welcome to Lunch with Linda. I'm Linda Daniels, and you are now inside Northampton Wools, located here in the heart of Northampton, Massachusetts. I am so grateful to all of you for showing up and love having you here. And I want to give a special hello to all of our brand new followers on YouTube. It's so exciting to see how many people have subscribed to our channel. So if you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that bell button, whatever that is, so that you get notified every time we put something up that's brand new. It's exciting to see all of that happen. And the same thing is happening on Instagram. We have had a bunch of new people join us, and I am so very, very thrilled and grateful to have that happen. I hope you guys have had a great week. It's been beautiful, and I'm wondering if you made it to Rybeck or not. Did you skip Rybeck this year? Are you staying home? If you went, did you see something that you really, really loved and had to have? Let us know in the comments. I'd love to know if anybody went. The pictures that I saw, as usual, made it look like a lot of fun and that there were a lot of people there. Rybeck has built itself up into a giant festival. It's certainly can we say the festival or the occasion of the year. I think it's even more popular than Vogue Knit Live, even the one in New York City. So you had a great weekend for it. Last year it poured rain, remember that? It was a washout. But this year it was shiny and bright and the colors were beautiful. So I want to hear about the yarn if you went. Rybeck is the beginning, and there are several little festivals surrounding Rybeck, and we move into over the next few weeks, lots of different kinds of festivals, from craft fairs to church fairs to the New England Sheep and Wool Festival, which will be down at the Big E Fairgrounds in 2 weeks. So it's the first weekend of November. And if you are going to that, I'm happy to let you know that Northampton Wools will have a booth there. We'll have a small little booth, and depending on how you come in, there are several different doors to come in. We're either at the very back or at the very beginning, depending on which way it goes. But we'll be in booth number 500. We're going to be specializing in some of Adrian, my daughter's hand-dyed yarn. Some of the kits that we have here at the store, we're kitting them up to bring them down there. And a very special little ornament that I have made out of material that I purchased when I was at Kerry Woolen Mill in Ireland this year. So you'll be able to see some very special little sheep that I have spent weeks and weeks making to have just down there. After the festival, I will have the sheep here for sale as well. So don't feel like if you can't make it on November 2nd and 3rd that you'll miss out, because we will still have things available here in the store. But I'm excited about it and nervous about it, and hopefully it pays off in the end and we meet a lot of you. It's a lot of planning and a lot of setup and a lot of nerve-wracking. Will the internet work? Will we be able to handle the sales? So if you're planning on going, please stop by and say hello and make me feel a little less nervous about the whole thing. With that in mind, I also want to remind you that not only are all these festivals going on, but we're beginning to enter that big pre-Christmas shopping season. You're going to start getting inundated with lots of ads from television and whatever else. And just a reminder that just as much as you plan your shopping, a lot of these festivals are filled with small businesses who really appreciate cash. I can't stress it enough. Cash really makes our lives easier in the long run and more profitable as well. That $50 that you might spend with one person stays $50. It doesn't get eaten away each time a charge or debit card is used, as the credit card companies get to take their share of that sale. So please plan your shopping. It also helps your budget. If you only have so much money to spend, you're not so tempted to go overboard, which is very smart, because we want you to have money left in January when we start a whole new session of classes and a whole new round of knitting in winter. So think about how much you want to budget and try to bring cash to those little fairs and festivals. It will make everybody very, very happy. Just an order. And talking about Christmas season coming up, this weekend I got my first order for Christmas stockings, and it's actually 3 of them. But basically I just wanted to show this. This is one of our store samples for the size of what the Christmas stockings are. These are the traditional patterns that have been around for a long time, and there are many of them. I think I own every single Christmas pattern that was ever out there. I love making Christmas stockings, and we'll do them on consignment, and we end up embroidering or duplicate stitching that person's name on them. This one actually, if you can give a little close-up, had a name on it, which I took out.
Oh, there's leftover.
There's a little bit of leftover red goop on there, but it's not hard to embroider a name on it. Every year I feel like I tell the same story. I made stockings for, or a stocking for, a customer who wanted her to have it for her son's girlfriend. And when she came back the next year with the stocking, she had me undo it and put a new girlfriend's name on it. And then the next year it happened again.
Oh. 3
years in a row I had to redo a name on the Christmas stocking so that the girlfriend was included. We specialize in doing it in Galway. Galway is a worsted weight wool that is a classic Christmas stocking yarn. It's the perfect worsted weight. We do have different shades of red and green. You can go to a very dark forest green or a very deep, almost cranberry red, depending on what your decor is or what your color scheme is. So we've got plenty of Christmas colors in stock. And I was wondering if you wanted to have a Christmas stocking class sometime between now and the beginning of December. If you are interested in that, again, leave another comment here or send me an email, and we will try to schedule a Christmas stocking class in there. It should only take about 2 or 3 classes to get you going in the stocking, and the Christmas stockings can be either done as a Fair Isle project or as intarsia. And in this one is classic intarsia. So the Christmas stocking is knit flat with a seam, so that you can knit the color work in as you go with different balls of yarn. It means that the color is not carried all the way through the stocking. So there are 2 ways to do it. I would love to do a class if there are enough people interested in that. So let me know what you think. I wanted to tell you quickly, remind you, Kate has made all of these wonderful pumpkins that will take us right through Thanksgiving. And if you are going anywhere for Thanksgiving, they make a wonderful little hostess treat. And she has decided to put them all on sale. So they're all marked down right now until they're gone. And this one especially is one of my favorite, because this one has the black with both the little paillettes and little sparkly beads. And that black stem, did you have to dye the stem, Kate?
No, I just had to, no, it was already dark.
Wow.
I just sort of darkened the top of it.
So remember, all of Kate's pumpkins have real dried and then protected stems, so they won't disintegrate or rot. This one is done with the Rasta from Malbrigo, and man, it's just so, you just want to touch it. And this one looks like a butternut squash.
You know,
With a
that did
great
come
one.
from a kabocha squash.
You did it?
Yeah.
It's such a great thing. Well, anyway, remember, all of them are marked down. So if you've had your eye on one, this will be the time to come in and make a purchase, because there aren't that many this year. And so if you want one, you want to move relatively quickly. Just before we went on, I was telling Kate a story Mindy told me this week. Mindy came in yesterday, and she has to travel to Australia to visit with her family. Unfortunately, her grandchildren are all the way out there, and she was there this past spring and summer, and she was doing some babysitting while her daughter and son-in-law went to work, and took her grandchildren to the park where she was knitting. And of course, like has happened to many of us, as soon as you take your knitting out, it attracts a crowd or at least a conversation. And she began to have a conversation with an Australian woman who was also there at the park about knitting in general. And Mindy asked this woman if she knew of any yarn stores in the area that she could visit. And the woman very kindly told her about a couple of them. And so on her daughter's next day off, Mindy and her daughter went off looking for the yarn store. They found it, but it was closed. So you can imagine the disappointment that they felt. So the next time that Mindy went to the park, the Australian woman was there and asked Mindy about the yarn store, if she had found her way to it. And when Mindy told her that yes, they had, but that the store was closed, the woman began to ask Mindy what was she looking for? What had she hoped to find? And Mindy basically just said that she wanted to have an Australian merino just to take home and maybe make something with. And the Australian woman actually took Mindy to her own house and gave her a bag of Australian merino out of her own stash, so that Mindy would have something to knit with. And Mindy just said to me, I cannot believe, once again, how knitters just always come through for other knitters. And I thought, man, that's such a sweet story. And it really speaks to the kind of generosity and the kind of sharing that knitters always want to do. Certainly, if somebody is in this country from far away and doesn't have time to shop, I know I could dig something out of my stash easily to give them, and I bet you could too. So knitters continue to come out and share and make other knitters feel welcome and comfortable. So when Mindy knits that sweater with that yarn for the rest of time, she will always think about that woman whenever she touches, sees, or as she's working on that sweater. That's part of what the whole knitting process does for us. It carries those wonderful thoughts and memories through the entire process. Hopefully you have a story like that too, that makes you feel good about the yarn that you have in your stash and about what you're able to do with it. So we got in some exciting new Woobles. Now, we've carried the Wooble kits for quite a while, but the Woobles company only makes certain ones available to yarn stores for sale. So we've only been able to carry about 5 different samples of or designs of their product. Well, they have finally expanded their offering to us, and I jumped right on it. And they have partnered with the Hello Kitty thing. And family. And one of their learn to crochet this is Hello Kitty, right? Mm-hmm. It's been a while. It's just so cute. Look, you can't really see it because it's a red background, but she even has a little red bow in her hair. Now remember, the Woobles are a learn to kind of project. So they're great for kids, probably down to maybe 7 or 8 with some help, but definitely in that 10 to 14 age range, it's perfect. And everything you need is in the kit, including links to the videos for all the how-to. The crochet hook is in there. The yarn needle is in there. The safety eyes, lots and lots and lots of stuff, even the stuffing. So Hello Kitty is one of the new ones, and we think this is also in the Hello Kitty family, that My Melody.
Oh, it definitely is. It's one of her friends.
And because these are, can I say franchised, like, or collaborations?
Yeah.
Because this is a collaboration. These two kits are a little bit more than what the normal run-of-the-mill kits are, but I think they're worth it. So we've got both of these brand new ones in. And then I thought this was a bumblebee because I'm not a sushi person.
Sushi.
But it's sushi. And I was so surprised this weekend when we put them out, and immediately the next customer was like, oh, look, a sushi. I'm under a rock. Under a rock.
It is yellow and black.
It is yellow and black and shaped like a bee. But it doesn't have wings, and you eat it. Sushi. Same deal. Everything you need to make it, including video, the crochet hook, and a yarn needle. And if you know what? Even adults will love making these, because wouldn't this make a great little Christmas ornament as well?
Perfect, yeah.
Really fun.
Put some string on it.
And then Nico the cat with her silly little fish apron. Those are some of the brand new ones. And I think there's a bunny that we got new too that I didn't bring over just because it's one of the basic kits, but we are stuffed now with Woobles for a little while. And I mean, we were selling them right out of the box this weekend. We barely even had time to get them stickered and up on the shelf, and people were buying them. And we heard another wonderful story from one of our customers this weekend who gave one to her grandson, and he learned, I think she said he was 12? Yeah, I think he's around 12, and he learned with the videos and had great success with it, fell in love with the craft, and is now designing his own toys and little amigurumi things. And she's so very proud of him, and he's so thrilled by the whole thing. So girls or boys, it doesn't matter. It can work for everybody. And you know, if you start them young, who knows where it will lead them. I think his name is Jared, that little boy who started crocheting and is now like the spokesperson for Lion Brand and Yarnspirations. I mean, he's all over the place. So Woobles kits, even if you don't crochet, is a great way to get those younger kids involved in crochet. Hopefully, those cool nights that we're having are someday going to show up during the day. It's cool in the shop because we don't get a lot of direct sun, but it's getting toasty out there instead of cooler. And hopefully that changes within the next couple of days. But it is the time of year when you are bringing all of your sweaters and your knit items out of storage. And I just wanted to talk about that a little bit. First of all, if you put your things away for the summer, as you take them out, hopefully you don't find any damage. But this is a great time, these next couple of days, with the sunshine and the temperatures, to do that. And if you can do it outside, it's even better, just in case there are a little bit of moth or eggs in them. If you have a deck or a backyard, spread a sheet on the ground, take your items outside, give them a good shake. If anything's in there, it will show up or you'll see it right away. Even if there isn't anything and you're positive there's no moth damage, take it outside, shake it off, hang them up. And put them in the sunshine for a couple of hours. The fresh air, the sunshine, all of that helps to just refresh the garments that have been stored away. You know, they've been in the dark, whether they're in a closet or a drawer, or like me, I put them in dark garbage bags up in the attic. I'm just taking them out now. And they all need that little bit of sunshine and fresh air to bring them back to life. If you have a steamer, this is also a good time to give them a little refresh with the steamer. One of the sweaters that I wore this weekend, I didn't do anything to, and it was wrinkled. Wool will wrinkle. Because it was not only folded, but it was crumpled because it was at the bottom of the bag. So I didn't bother to steam it. I just wore it wrinkled. But I could have taken 5 minutes and steamed those wrinkles out, and then had a really fresh looking garment. So that's why I'm sharing it with you, so you don't have to look like me. But also, I want to talk about, what do you do? How do you put them away right now? I have sets of bins at home that one in my bedroom, and I put all of my sweaters in there so that I can just pull out what I want to wear. But the way I put them away, I wanted to show you how I fold them. So this is a basic cardigan, belongs to Susan. Thank you, Susan, for letting me use it. And by the way, we actually changed the buttons on this. Susan originally had chosen white buttons, and when it was done, they were a little bit stark. It felt like she was, wearing white buttons instead of a black sweater. So we changed them to some simple black, and boy, I think it really makes a difference, don't you, Kate?
Oh, yeah.
I think just making those buttons disappear elevates the look of the sweater.
You can see the yarn and the pattern.
You can see it.
Yeah.
So you can put your sweater down on the bed and fold the sleeves in, just like you do a t-shirt or a long sleeve shirt. But instead of doing this and folding the sweater up, which is what a lot of people do, I fold the arms in, and then from the bottom, I roll the sweater. I know Bess does this with all of her shawls, and it eliminates a lot of those fold lines that you just don't want. Now my sweaters fit right into the storage area, just in tubes. I can see what they are. I even know whether it's a cardigan or a pullover if I don't remember, just by the yarn. But it just stays in there all nice and neat. If it's not that deep, you can fold that over like that, and that will be fine because there's enough material in there to kind of punch up the fold so it's not that crisp kind of fold line as well. And then just pile them on top of each other. It's just a way to help you condense those big sweaters and to help take care of the garments that you've spent so much time knitting and making and loving as well. One other quick note, we sold out of the Nordic knits from Lane, but I do have an order coming. They're probably holding it because there's a new book that I also ordered. It's 52 weeks of chunky knit. Is it chunky knits or gifts? It's chunky knits, I think.
Chunky something.
Yeah. And that's about to be published. So they're probably holding the magazine until they have that book too, because shipping costs so much that they're trying to help with that cost by shipping everything at once. But we will be getting Nordic knits in again, a restock, as well as 2 of the new books. We'll be getting in one of them isn't new, it's their little toy book, Moochie and Friends, Mochi, and then Chunky Knits, whatever the 52 weeks is. Okay, that is it. It was a week full of stories and plans and all of this stuff. So even though those days are warm and sunny and the yard work needs to be done, because of course every other day it looks like you need to rake up the leaves.
You don't.
Just leave them.
The bugs love the leaves.
The bugs love the leaves. Mulch them. Hopefully you find some time this week to go knit something. Bye.